Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Taurus, we're going to do what I did the last time. We're going to focus on your money, career, and finances. We're going to look at your personal relationships, and we're going to look at your spiritual journey, past, present, future, and advice for all three of those. I'm using different decks this time, though, to kind of bring in different messages. I am going to start with my Moonology deck. And I'm going to get sort of like an overall message for you in that. I'm actually not going to start with that deck, so we're going to go over here. Moonology is going to be an overall message for each one of these placements. Money, work, finances, personal relationships, and spiritual journey. And then the tarot we will use to develop your past, present, future, and advice for that. I am going to go into my little doggy oracle deck. The little doggies are going to give each one of you a beautiful message. An important message. Dogs don't mince words and they can't hide their feelings. So you're going to get something from this. Yeah, and that's what we're doing here, Taurus. It is general, so it may or may not resonate. If it does, there is an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. In that, I will look at the blind spot of each of these three key areas of your life. A message to Taurus from the Doggy Wisdom Oracle. Doggy wisdom is so simple and so true. What is the doggy wisdom for Taurus? Determination. That just seems so Taurian, actually. It seems so bovine, baby. What's at the bottom? Because I kind of make these two come together. Rest, companionship. Oh, you know what? It kind of, okay, that's interesting. I'm getting the message here. What the dogs are trying to tell you, Taurus, is that I feel like you have determination towards companionship, to spending time with certain people or connecting with certain people. But the doggies are telling you that if you want to have the best experience with those that you want to connect with, you need to be rested, and so that you can have lots of fun, right? That makes sense, no? Yeah. The dogs are so smart. If I'm going to go to the park with my friends, I need to have a nap first. Okay, Taurus, let's get into it. Money, career, finances, personal relationship. I just washed my hair and it feels like it wants to go in my face. Personal relationships and spiritual journey. I'm going to get a haircut too. I'm not going to really get it cut short. I'm just going to get some style into it. It's been, I think, 10 months now since I actually had my hair cut. Money, career, finances. Expect powerful change, Taurus. New moon eclipse. I love the eclipse energy because I feel like it's sort of that point in time where the moon and the sun are in alignment with where you stand, and you can see your fears and your hopes and your dreams all in one look. It gives you clarity. Personal relationships. What do you need to release? A waning moon. So maybe there's some that you need to release. Maybe there's some personal relationship you need to release these ones. Spiritual journey. A new start is coming. New moon. Something new on the horizon for you in your journey of life, Taurus. At the bottom, you have full moon in Aries. A fiery climax approaches. So there could be some sort of conclusion to something for you. May or may not be fiery, but it's something that will drive you, I feel like. Something that you may feel very passionate about or will stir your passion. I'm using my steampunk deck. I haven't used it in a while. So look at the past, present, and future for you, Taurus. In the past, you had the Three of Swords. Presently, you have the Queen of Pentacles. In your future, you have the Two of Wands. Something is coming in. I'm kind of feeling like that for you. Expect powerful change. You also have done some sort of powerful change here, going from the Three of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles presently. If something wasn't working out for you in the past with your money, work, and finances, you have certainly taken charge. And at this point, I feel like it really shows. It's really coming through. for you. You've made some sort of accomplishment here. In the future, the Two of Wands, that feels to me like getting ready for something new, thinking about something new and what to do with it, how to do it. Expect powerful change. It's almost like getting ready for more powerful change because you've already done something here. Your advice is the Hanged Man. Your advice right now, I feel like, is to kind of, if this is resonating, you feel like you're pretty stable in the energy that you are right now. You're kind of looking after home and work with a good deal of balance, because those can come together in this line, because it's finances and money, which is going to have something to do with your home life as well. So, I'm just curious. I'm noticing how she's looking. She's just standing here and she's looking at that Three of Swords, like sort of looking back on it. I feel like don't spend too much time looking at the past, because you've accomplished something here. Your future is kind of looking out and wondering what the possibilities could be for yourself. It's almost like kind of first, second step in manifestation here. So keep that going forward for yourself, Taurus. And your advice is to give yourself a higher perspective. Kind of hold yourself at this energy, the Queen of Pentacles. Hold yourself at that energy and take some time to reflect about things that have gone on in the past, how you've brought yourself to where you are now, and where you want to see yourself in the future, and how everything around you is sort of interconnected in that as well. So your personal relationships in the past, you had the Eight of Swords, feeling an awful lot like you couldn't move forward with certain things. There might have been situations where you felt like you couldn't approach people, or maybe you couldn't talk to people about certain things going on in your life, or you felt like people were holding back with you. Presently, ooh, you have the Seven of Swords. Wow, that kind of feels like, you know what? Look at the way these two cards are looking at each other. Look at that. I kind of feel like, Taurus, in the past, this almost feels like people were not expressing anything to you or coming towards you, or maybe there was friendships that you tried to start, or relationships with people, and there was a give and a take, but no give and take back. like, and you kind of want to presently you're ready just to go in another direction. And looking at that, like, I don't know why that person would talk to me. I'm going to keep my stuff with me and go this way. So not wanting to share anymore. In the future, you have the Two of Swords. So sitting in indecision about something, trying to make a final decision about maybe a choice that you're in the process of making right now. And your advice is the Eight of Wands. So is kind of some sort of movement here. I'm feeling like it's movement. This card, the Seven of Swords, is going like her body's going this way. Her head is looking back at the past, almost as if someone in the past that wouldn't open up to you or communicate, or wouldn't come towards you, or it was something that held you back, and you don't, I'm going in the other direction now. I'm taking my knowing of me with me, no more sharing that. And then, like, I see this movement is going this way too in the advice. I think you're kind of, what you're doing right now, you're going in the right direction for yourself. In the future, you have something that you're trying to make a decision about. I'm definitely going to clarify that. Okay, your spiritual journey. Sue, right? Okay, wait a second. What do you need to release, right? Connections, I feel like that just don't work, or there's no give and take. There's nothing symbiotic about it. There you go. Okay, a new start is coming in your spiritual journey. In the past, you had the Four of Swords. So you did a lot of healing. You were resting the mind, taking some time out, giving yourself what you needed to recuperate. Presently, you are the Page of Cups. So you're kind of coming forward here, feeling a little bit optimistic about your journey and where it's going now. Like, maybe you've gone through quite a bit. You do have the Three of Swords sitting in the past. So all of these areas of your life can totally bleed into each other, and that's totally natural, and I think that's probably actually really healthy. So having the Three of Swords in your past, work, money, finances, and having the Four of Swords in your spiritual journey, like these can be linked. Like you can be doing something with money and finances and work that has something to do with the greater good that you're doing in life. Taking a rest, like healing that. And then presently, so you are kind of feeling like optimistic. I like to think that sort of feeling, having an optimistic approach moving forward. In the future, you have the Four of Wands. So your spiritual journey is about to really open up here and open up in a really positive way. The advice for you is the Seven of Pentacles, is to make that plan for yourself. If something didn't work out in the past, which is quite likely with the Three of Swords into the Four of Swords, why didn't it work out? Were there things that you could have done differently? Or were those just lessons meant for you to take forward to create a new plan for yourself? You have the Lovers and the Hierophant at the bottom. It feels like kind of big choices. Some sort of big choices, big connections for you in the future. Expect powerful change. A new start is coming. Actually, no, I'm going to stop, Ola. I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I want to put a card on each one of these. Well, I'm being told to do that. It is kind of what I want to do too. I'm going to put one card in each one of those. Moonology cards. The Queen of Cups. For your expect powerful change, what do you need to release? The Wheel of Fortune, there's a cycle here that's finished. A new start is coming. The Nine of Wands, thank God, because it's been a long, hard road. There you go. And now we have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom. Making choices, the King of Cups, the Star, the Five of Swords. I'll get into that in a second if it's pulled me in. Expect powerful change. I feel like if you've been focusing on sort of the more monetary aspects of your career, money, and finances, I feel like you're going to be focusing more on the emotional aspect. Like maybe making choices about certain projects you take on or what you do around your house. Like maybe you've been spending your money on really practical things, but there's a shift here coming for you where part of this big change is going to be things that like really mean something to you from your heart. The expression of this as well. And I can see why the advice is the Hanged Man, because this is about having a new perspective here. Giving yourself a new perspective in where the resources that you have now, how are you utilizing them? Right? And your future is actually kind of like thinking about it. You have the Two of Wands and Two of Swords sitting underneath each other. Okay, so now I'm going to clarify this stuff. I'm going to clarify the Two of Wands, your future, the Two of Wands, Taurus, the Empress, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Sun. Like, look at this. This is like going after really big things that you really, really want. How to get there, how to make it your wish fulfillment. This could even be bringing someone, maybe you see someone who's got good finances. This is the Empress. Or how do you create this for yourself? Maybe you are the Empress already. And then how do you turn this into your wish fulfillment? Like, how do you turn all the abundance that you have within yourself into the best days that you've ever had? Thinking about that in your future. Because you're utilizing Queen energy here. You got Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. So you're working your way into this Empress. If you haven't already created it for yourself, the embodiment of all the queens, is how do I utilize different aspects of myself now to really get into the Sun? And I think a big part of this is going to be the Queen of Cups energy. It's going to be your intuition. It's going to be your emotions, your expression of these emotions, using that to guide you. Really coming from a heart space, Taurus. I'm going to look at your Seven of Swords presently for personal relationships. Seven of Swords for Taurus and personal relationships. The Knight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. This is definitely taking some sort of action in regards to an energy that makes you feel completely excluded. This really does. I mean, if you look at, just look at the imagery in these cards. Like this person walking away from there like, oh, there's nothing to grow there. I can't do anything with that. And it's just this feeling of isolation and put out. Feeling rejected, dejected, and wanting to just go in another direction. Which makes sense because that's not a good energy. The Eight of Swords is not a good energy at all. But with the Seven of Swords, you kind of just come to a point where it doesn't really matter how I get out of this. I just need to get out of this. So the Two of Swords is your future. The Two of Swords is your future. Justice, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Wow, this is like making a decision. Is this, okay, I feel like you're on your way to move away from something, some sort of personal relationship here. And in the future, you're trying to decide, like these are like two massive ends of the spectrum. Does this come to a complete ending? Is this really, really over? Or do I try something emotionally here? And you're really in your head with your personal relationships. There's so many swords. You're like really a lot of thought process going on. So do you accept that something is over for yourself? Or do you try to get something going emotionally? Let's look at your advice. It's the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. I kind of feel like the advice for you is if you've got some sort of stability here is to keep focusing on that. You've already got the energy of the Queen of Pentacles presently, and this is sort of like a real nice counterpart to that energy. But the happiness that you find within yourself, the celebration, I kind of feel like you should focus more on, with your personal relationships, not on things that make you feel excluded, not on things that don't move towards you, not on things that don't participate in a give and take energy with you. I mean, in your future, you're going to be trying to decide, is that it? Or is it a new beginning for me in another direction or in this direction? Because I see the Eight of Wands going this way, I think your advice is to go in another direction here and really work on your stability, your more of the masculine, like it's almost like an immovable energy. Like really claim this for yourself and find your own inner happiness. That's the most important thing here. I think this Ace of Cups is really for you in the future to turn it into the Nine. Like there's having so many things in your life that you have created that bring you happiness and fulfillment. So you recognize your value here. I've created this for me. I've worked through this for me. I've done this for me. Now you have something to share, right? And likely calling in the right sort of energy, not the kind of energy that you feel like, well, I have to walk away from this. There's nothing here. Okay, so presently in your spiritual journey, you have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups for Taurus. Two of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Oh my God, there's so many swords. Wait, which one? I don't think it matters. Which one is in what order? You have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and Nine of Swords. There's that Two of Swords again, all in your head. Cutting it out. Do I cut it out? Like giving yourself a bit of mental anxiety over this, at least overthinking it, or not thinking in the most positive way. Like I find the Nine of Swords is interesting because I can do my own reading, which I'm never really very good at anyways. And I can pull out the Nine of Swords and I'm like, well, I'm not really staying up at night worrying about this. I think about it sometimes, but it's not. So I think I want to say the Nine of Swords because everything should really be on a gradient in tarot. It could, you may or may not. I mean, you may be staying up at night because there's a lot of swords here, but Do you cut this out or do you continue thinking about it? Just cut it out. I don't know. I think you've really got to do something that takes you out of your mind. You are, in the present, you were healing. In the past, sorry, you were healing like aspects of the mind here and the thought process. Try not to get too wrapped up in it again. Spend a little more time. I think this is one of the best advice cards for you in this reading, is this 9 of Cups. Work on the things that bring you joy. Work on the things that you can see that you've created for yourself that are kind of unbreakable things. They're not dependent on other people or other situations. You've created this for you. So if you go into other situations or relationships and things don't work out, you still have this strong basis of your own emotional happiness here. In the future, you have the 4 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Wow. There's something really good in the future here for your spiritual journey. And it's quite interesting because the Emperor and the Empress are laying in the same line here with the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. It does feel like your future is really, really good. Just let go of any thought processes that have to do with relationships, personal relationships from the past, and move forward into your own creations here, Taurus. The universe is going to guide you. The 9 of Cups is your wish is my command for me. I mean, it can also be about like indulging and stuff and having a good time, but it's high vibrational energy. And when you're at this frequency, the universe hears you because you're at the frequency that the universe functions in. So your wishes become true. That's the most important thing. Your wishes can't really become true in the 3 and 8 of Swords energy. That's not going to happen. That's just a time to kind of work through stuff. So I see you've done a lot of work, so don't go backwards. Keep going forwards. The 7 of Pentacles is your advice for your spiritual journey. 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. A big part of making, planning these wishes and dreams for yourself is to release some sort of heavy burden. Perhaps, maybe that's talking to people about how you feel or how you have felt in the past in positive or negative situations. Because the 2 of Cups is the reciprocation. This is the reciprocation energy. How to get to that is your advice. And the first step is removing anything that's holding you back. Removing anything that's kind of clinging to your coattails, that's not serving you, that isn't, you know, you can have temporary, I don't know, hope it doesn't, because you can have temporary sacrifices too in your life, like things that you look after. I mean, like, I try to do things for my mom, I do things for my son. Like, I'm not just, oh, it's not always about Cindy and what Cindy wants, but it's the balance. And when you do have the time for you, and you are actively engaged in relationships with people that don't need to be looked after, that's where you should be getting the reciprocation, right? I don't want to make it sound like, you know, everybody in your life needs to reciprocate, because there are people that are vulnerable, that are younger, that are older, that need our help. So I don't want to make it sound like you shouldn't help them. You should. But this is like stuff where you're not getting anything and it's bothering you. Well, you know, so there, oh, look, the 10 of Cups is at the bottom. And that's it. The 10 of Cups is at the bottom. Emotional fulfillments coming. There you go, Taurus. Thank you so much. I'm going to go and do the extended reading and look at the blind spots in each one of these areas of your life. Thank you so much, bovine babies. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.